Hello, everyone. I just wanted to come and say a quick word, and I don't know what's going on with my lighting. I don't know if you can see me at all. To explain, what's going on with me and where I'm at right now, it would just take many words. And this is just part of my journey, my process, and it has been a process, and it has been a journey. And my journey started long ago. And I know I've let some down out there, and I hope all is well. I hope, your hearts are, staying strong. This was that all would work out for the good. It's just, so much is hard for me to explain because, what was given to me, it was not by my power. And I could not, it was through a process and a journey that I could not speak these things as these things was unfolding. I just want to testify to, what I've been given to see. It's just, it was so big. And I know I've waited my whole life for this. And there is nothing in myself. There's things I don't understand about myself. Why I knew and why I, this is all that's ever been in my mind. And, through these years when the revelation began, I have so much, there would have been so much that people would have thought myself boasting if I told you all that was given to me to see, all that, it was the wisdom of God being, revealed. And it was for the darkness that was still being spoken. And it just, there's no way. I can only testify. But I can tell you, some things you might have to listen, like as before, I only gave what good I could. I gave what little through the years in my comments and videos to try to keep the hope and the faith. Nothing is as man has been brainwashed, filled to believe. There's so much more to what the gospel is, what the message is. It is spirit, and it is a testimony, and it is a prophecy, and so many things have been misunderstood, understood wrongly, out of season, and and even through it. Here's something like, when because of what I was going to see, I would see when others, they would testify and speak some things rightly, but for the darkness in them, they did not understand. They were still speaking air. It was through that indoctrination. They still had air because they had not seen what was in the dark. That had not been revealed to them yet. And just as, like, why I kept turning off, these years has been me and my Father God. Even after all that's been given, I don't rightly know how to express all that God is, all that Christ is, all that, it is just not what man can only perceive that through that carnal perception, that limited, because you have been made to think contrary. Your hearts have been filled with everything contrary to spirit. I know what happened with me. It is not for me, not for any righteousness I've done. It was for, and I don't know how, I don't know what all happens with me. I don't know how, I just know this power that has been shown and given and done in me. That is not for no reason. I'm not the one that can, when you've been shown that mighty and that huge of work and power, what it was for, I'm not sure. Only to testify that others don't have to suffer. This whole world suffers. My eyes was blessed. That's, it's not nothing of yourself. It was through faith that somehow I had from the beginning, since I was a child. Things that was shown in me, revealed to me, even of myself, is so much bigger. You know, even my very name was revealed to me more than once, farther back. And, you know, and these things I don't fully understand yet. I haven't fully comprehended yet. But these things can't be taught. You know, that's the darkness is the misunderstanding of the letter. And that's why everyone who's received a little revelation, a little understanding, they mix it with that darkness of not understanding what was truly in the letter. You know, but because your eyes are still darkened. It is blessed are the eyes. That is those eyes that see through faith. They can see good. Your eyes have to be blessed to see good. Because this whole world is covered in darkness. You have been filled with everything dark and contrary to what is good and right and true. You have been made to think evil of what is good. You know, and I know when I share my testimony, because it began when I was a child. All I ever wanted, you know, was good. I loved everyone. You know, I could not see evil in people. And I had to lose all that. You know, and I know it is for that was given to me. That's the only reason I still have faith, because I am nothing, there's nothing good in me except, you know, not in my flesh. I am not perfect in flesh. I do wrong. I have done wrong. But from the beginning, I never wanted to do wrong. I always wanted to do good. But the world told me it was useless. It was pointless, you know. Some things will be hard for me to speak. And I don't care what anyone thinks of me anymore, because I know where I've been and who I believe. And there's so much more because of it is the false that has to be taken away. And that was what was worked through the word. Every name who suffer for the name. There's so much man does not understand about the name Jesus, even the anointing of the name Jesus, and how much has been worked, how salvation has been worked through that name. But it was done that all that was false and contrary could even be taken away in that name. You know, man, in all the denominations, excuse me, it's cold out here, and my nose is starting to run down. All the religion, all the division, all the things that have been spoken, you know, all done in that name. You know, you have been turned to darkness in that name. That's why it was made, but all was done that in the fullness of time it would be understood, and that everything false and carnal and would be also taken away in that name. You know, I'm going to share my journey. I'm going to share what has been shown to me. I'm not a teacher. I am a witness. I will share what I have seen, what I have heard, what I have seen with my heart, what I have seen with my physical eyes. See, when more is given, when you have had great experience, even to hear a voice, even to see a vision, and even to know the fullness, to be shown what is the fullness. I know what happened those first years when the revealing. That was the full outer letter being revealed to me in spirit. That was given me that mind, that, you know, and what happened after the last 2 years. There was things I had to learn through what I did, because I knew I could not show. There's so much more that happened through what I have found beneath the letter. And there's only a certain portion you can take from the translation. And there is so much more that man has never heard beneath it, where it tells those who are prepared. It tells all things. It tells you how it was all worked. And it was for salvation. This world is suffering. This world is, you know, but one foresaw, one looked out ahead, that, you know, it's more amazing. And there's nothing in myself. I expected to know. I don't know how. You know, I am am and what I've been made, and I don't fully understand. But it had nothing to do with my own, I am just a vessel that this was my, I was predestined for all this, for my wrong, everything. I had to learn. And through my learning, my journey, this is, and I understand there's a part that each of us has to find this and understand this on our own. But then there's a part where it's that whole body, all suffering together, that we can all glorify together. But it's not as man. Some man, they preach half and half because they're still in darkness. Why are you still preaching to wait for something that you can't have it and still be waiting for it? You are, and it tells you all these things. It tells you all they do. I know that what I'm saying, nothing I can't bring about. I can't show what was shown to me. I couldn't have found that on my own. But I am prepared for whatever that work, whatever my part is. It had nothing to do to my knowledge. And, there's so much more, And that's one thing that was shown to me through my journey, through the vision, through, some vision and things that I didn't understand at the time, that I now understand. Some things fully, something in part. But I had to be showed so much more, that I would know so much more. It was preparing me that I could fathom. Perfect love cast out fear. We who had to suffer through this torment and battle was only that those, others won't have to, because the darkness, the falsehood, the darkness, that is going to be taken away. And when all that is destroyed is taken away, then there will be joy. If your eye is darkened, great is the darkness. If your eye is full of light, great is the light. But you don't know, when your eye is darkened, you don't know what you don't see. And that's how so many, and they've even said how I spoke in darkness. I didn't understand what I was saying then. And then they realize, or say they'll tell you. See, that's why I knew I was not supposed to speak until I understood. Because, and so much was given to me to make sure that I don't open your mouth, Nancy. When the time comes that you should, I don't like saying teach because I'm not a teach. But that was from the beginning. I remember 20-some years ago when I first heard it. But it was because of all that I had in me, all the world, I could not accept what I heard. So I had to go through a long journey and trial just to realize what I had was all that ever mattered. And truly it is. We had to be made to see what we did not see, but there's just, I'm going to end it there. There's just so much. It's hard to say, but I'm going to share my journey, my testimony. It began when I was young, and it was because of what I could see before the darkness entered into me. That's what got me through all these years. That's why I held on to what was good, because I saw it. I knew it before. And I hope something made sense. And I have a lot going on in my life right now, but it's not my power. It's not my time. And, each of us, we each have to, come to understand what each of us, and to be made, and that we can, do our part, or whatever it is for us to do. And I hope something made sense, and I love you all. Bye for now.